All right. You've been watching any of my recent videos, following me, listening to me on TikTok, whatever. You'll realize that I have a theme that I follow, which is my belief system, and that is that everything comes from within and is projected out into the world. And with this, one issue that I have noticed in today's society is the fact that there is an overabundance of information, of availability. In today's world, we have access to an infinite amount of information at our fingertips, on our phones, on our laptops. We can instantly solve any problem we are thinking about and get the answer to any question we have by going online and Googling it, searching for it. So by doing this, we are inherently losing a part of ourselves. While it is not bad to have an abundance and an access to an abundance of information, to an abundance of availability to receive information, that is not a bad thing. It is extremely beneficial and can be very helpful. The issue is when we depend on it and rely on it over depending on ourselves and relying on ourselves. What we do is we make our phone, we'll say this hand here is a phone, the internet. Okay, this is the internet. This is all the information that we have unlimited access to at any moment. This hand, this guy is me. My internal wisdom, my inner views, the untapped and infinite stores of wisdom that lie within this vessel. So, in the past, you would see a lot of all people, not just creative, not just artists, not just poets and authors, storytellers of the world, but scientists in the Age of Enlightenment, even like Isaac Newton. Scientists would rely on this, on the inner wisdom. They knew that by going within, they could receive guidance. They could receive clarity on what they were working on. And so they would go within. Obviously, they did have access. They had access to information, and they would read books that were created by other people, which would help them to formulate and come up with their own ideas and their own ways of thinking. And yes, we can do that today, and you can do that by using information online. But the issue is, in the past, you needed to be silent. Like if you're reading a book, you need to be silent to read a book. So you're using yourself. You're using your intuition, if you will. You are using the inner guidance when you are silent. You are reading. When you are silent and you are reading, you are listening to yourself and allowing you to flow through. When you are looking at information online, this takes a back seat, yourself. This takes the forefront, and you think all the answers are here. All the answers are on the internet. I don't need to rely on myself or even listen to myself because it's all right here. My ankle's hurting. Oh, well, I just fucked up my ankle running. Okay, let me just look up what's wrong with my ankle. Well, how the fuck are we, why would you do that? That sounds fucking insane when you think about it. Oh yeah, I just hurt my ankle running in my own experience. And the first thing I'm going to do is run to Google and say, hey, Google, what just happened to my ankle? It's like, why are we relying on something outside of us to tell us what's happening to ourselves. It's crazy. And obviously you can get good information. My hands are tired, so I gotta take them down. You can get good information from going online, from using the internet, without a doubt. But you need balance. There is a balance with everything in life. If you lean too heavily into gathering information, into accessing information online, then you are never using yourself. And if you aren't using yourself and allowing your unique perspective, your unique view of the world, because everyone has a unique view of the world, if you're not allowing this to come through ever, then you are going to be stuck in the same spot that you are in. Because right now, or maybe not now, maybe in the past, but at some point you have been too reliant on outside information. And that was me for a while. I was stuck there for a long time. And then when you do that, you watch video after video, you look up all these things. You're like, oh, I just thought of this question now. Like, oh, like that video sparked another question. I'm going to look it up. I'm going to look the answer up online. And like, yeah, that's great. But sometimes what you need to do is just sit with yourself in silence and go within and ask yourself these questions. Because inside of you, within all of us, is unlimited information. We have access to everything within us. Everything you could ever need and know and want to know about yourself and about your life is only accessible to you by you. You have to use yourself, use your mind as a tool instead of as allowing your mind to use you. I think I'm going to make another video on that because that's a good topic to flesh out more and go more in depth on. But your mind listens to you. Okay, so you can use it as a tool, and you can use it because we're fucking smart. You know, these brains that we have been given are insane, powerful tools that we have. No other species has it. We've been given it to use it. All right, like, let's not forget how miraculous that is. The fact that we have a supercomputer inside of our heads that can process information incredibly fast and use it to benefit ourselves. But today, we too often use it to look outside of ourselves, which is necessary at times, but you cannot validate everything in your life, in your experience, on external stimuli. External stimuli, things that you are seeing outside of yourself, in your life, around you, in your world, cannot be validating your inner states and your inner ways of being. And if they are, then you will fall into depression, or you will fall into anxiety or doubt or fear or anything else you can think of. All of that stems, everything that we think is a problem with us is really stemming from us not being able to accept ourselves and go within ourselves. And the reason we are seeing so much of it today is because of this ease of access to information and the overabundance of everything in society. There is an overabundance of stimulation, of dopamine everywhere. Everywhere we go, that's all we get. Even if you work, working is influencing that dopamine. You're like, oh, I need it. Like, I don't have time to sit with myself today, or I don't have time to read today because I got to go work for 8 hours and then I have to go do this after. And that hustle culture, that's something that you can fall into. I've fallen into it for sure. It definitely is beneficial. It's beneficial to build discipline. But if you build discipline and you forget that you are the system that you are operating in, then it doesn't really matter how much discipline you have, because you're using it under a false pretense. You're using it under the notion that you need to do all these steps to achieve something, instead of just realizing you have everything you need within you right now. All the achievement, all the fulfillment is within. And then when you unlock that and access that, then you can see it being spread outside of you into the world. Because the world is the effect, the inside, and inside of us is the cause. And that's what we have lost in today's society with this overabundance, is the knowledge and the wisdom that we are the cause of our own reality, of our own life. The effect is the world that we see. The effect is our day-to-day lives. The effect is what happens to us in our life, what we are going through, what we feel, what we see, what we experience. That is the effect. And the cause is always us, what we have chosen inside. And so when we forget who we are, when we forget to go within ourselves and to access the silence and to listen to it, then we are forgetting that we are creating everything around us, and that everything we see and everything in our life is a direct correspondent of us, of our states that we accept. And so when we forget this, which often happens from accessing information and going to the internet and using that as a scapegoat to escape ourselves. We go outside because we think, okay, this is going to solve my problem. This internet is going to solve my problem. And I'm going, because that's what the idea that my brain just came up with. Oh, I'm overwhelmed by thoughts. I'm anxious. I'm going to go look online how to stop anxiety and spiraling thoughts. Like, yeah, you can do that, but you can also just realize those thoughts are happening to you, but they are not coming from you. They are not you. You don't have to agree with them. You don't have to align with them and accept them. And the more time you spend in silence within yourself, the more time you realize, or the more often you realize and understand that you are the one that is accepting what is going on in here. You are the one that is agreeing to what is happening inside of you. So yes, you can always use the internet and go outside to look for the answers, but the answers always lie inside. So next time you have the urge to look towards something outside of you to solve a problem that is going on within you, think again and look within you first. And the more you do that, the more you practice leaning into yourself, trusting yourself, loving yourself, living within yourself, and not being afraid to be who you are, not being afraid to sit inside of you and realize that you are who you are. The more you lean into that and go within yourself and realize that everything is coming from you, then the less you rely on this, the less you rely on the outside overabundance within society. Once you rely on that less and rely on this more, rely on this more, on that, on you, within you, once you do that, things become significantly I don't want to say easier, significantly simpler, because you see with clarity. You don't see, instead of seeing from your eyes and looking outside in the world, you are seeing through them. You are using them as a vessel to see everything around you. You are seeing things clearly for what it is and not for the representation of that in this physical reality, this physical realm. You're seeing through the physicality of everything and into the inherent awareness and nature, consciousness of all. So next time you want to go outside of you to look for information, like, how do I get bigger arms? Well, just see what works for you. Go within yourself. You know what you've done already. You know what doesn't work if you don't have big arms, because you've tried and it hasn't worked. Try something else. Sure, you can go and look up different exercises if you want. You got to ask yourself if it's working and know within yourself what is and is not working. If you don't do that, if you don't trust who you are, then you'll be stuck. You'll be stuck here. And if you're stuck there, you're always going to be stuck there. If you never go back here, you're always going to be stuck, relying on external things to validate your experience in your life. And that is the problem with overabundance in today's society. We rely too much on things outside of ourselves to validate what is going on inside of us. Return to source. Return to you. Source is you. Okay? Return within yourself. Realize it's all happening within before it happens without. Connect with yourself once a day, every day. And truly be honest with yourself. It might be hard. Might not be easy at first, but do it. And over time you get better. And then it becomes fun. It becomes light. It becomes simple. It is all simple inherently. We just forgot how simple it is. All right. Love you guys. Be good. I'll see you next time.